The time has arrived, Luis, Lou, however the hell you want me to call you, man. It's time for some MLB rumors. We're talking about our favorite segment called Deacon!
Hey. Man, it's hot in here, bro.
It is hot, man.
Ooh.
Take us home. Take us home, Daddy.
You want me to kick it off?
Is that weird? Kick it off.
I'm going to kick it off, man. So I was having a conversation at the Mets game and someone leaned over and said, hey, has anybody been ejected from a game since MLB started checking for foreign substances on June 21st, which was a Monday, which DeGrom was the first pitcher to be checked. I was at Citi Field for DeGrom Day, whatever.
You mean you guys were discussing MLB rumors at the stadium?
Yes. Was anybody ejected up until that point? No. Shortly thereafter, Hector Santiago had his glove confiscated by MLB. He was ejected from the game. That glove has arrived in New York today and will be evaluated.
Ooh.
Hector Santiago said that the glove only contained rosin. I don't know what to think, man. That's deacon what the glove contained. Just rosin. I don't know anybody that keeps rosin in their glove. I'm used to seeing it on the forearm, on the little rosin bag, but they did confiscate the glove. It's a very bizarre video to watch on a professional baseball game, but they put it in a plastic bag, probably put it in a cooler, shipped it over like it was a beating heart.
Oh, so ridiculous, man.
So ridiculous, man. So what do you think? What? Oh, here's something else that I should have mentioned. Hector Santiago. He actually already pitched on the 23rd. MLB started checking for foreign substances on the 21st.
Okay.
So he already had a game in which he was checked by MLB and they didn't find anything. I would find it hard to believe. So here's the thing. Either he had that first start and thought to himself like, oh, if this is all it is, I'm gonna shove this stuff deep into my glove. They're never gonna check there.
Yeah.
And then maybe he like pushed his luck the second start and then they caught him. I think what's in that glove is somewhere in between, man. It's probably mostly rosin, but there's probably a little squirt of sunscreen in there,
You had to use squirt on there, huh? Little dab would have worked.
Yeah.
A pinch. So I don't know if you saw Trevor Bauer, who, by the way, I think it's funny that in these telecasts, like on ESPN, I think it was yesterday, they had Trevor Bauer almost like an expert, like the sticky stuff expert, and he's talking
last night's game, right?
To the press and stuff. And I was like, this is the guy who perfected the sticky stuff. And you're almost like, it's almost like that movie Catch Me If You Can, where the FBI eventually hires the guy who like
great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Who was like robbing banks and shit because he did it so well. But anyway, if it's just rosin that they find, I can't imagine that they could suspend this guy because you have a freaking bag of rosin on every mound in baseball. And speaking of Trevor Bauer, I think it was last week he showed how a mixture of rosin and water is so sticky that you could, or sweat, that you can use, you can stick a ball to your hand and hold it like perpendicular to the ground and it won't fall. So I don't know, man. I just think that this is a clunky way to go about it, but whatever, man.
Yeah.
Hector Santiago, Bloomfield, New Jersey, local guy. Something tells me you're about a mile or two away from Bloomfield, New Jersey. Did you have something to do with this, man?
Hey, speaking of that example Trevor Bauer had with rosin and like sweat, Pedro Martinez did a similar example where he showed like to the camera and like the stickiness between his fingers with just rosin and water, I guess, or sweat, like you mentioned. What's MLB gonna do though? What happens if they, they look at the glove under a microscope and they realize it is just rosin, or maybe it's rosin and he hocked a loogie in his glove to really make it stick? Like, what are they gonna do? Does Hector Santiago get that time back? Does he get like a bonus? Do they apologize? Do the umpires get questioned and evaluated? Like, if it is just rosin, then what?
Yeah,
he was already ejected from the game, and if the umpires couldn't verify on the field what it was, then I don't think they should have it almost doesn't make sense that they ejected him, doesn't it? Like they almost like ejected him on the assumption that there is something else there besides rosin. It's almost like his word isn't good enough.
Right.
And listen, I sweat a lot. I ruin baseball gloves from the inside with the sweat on my hands, which is why it's recommended to use a batting glove. So maybe there's something really crazy about my sweat. Like what does my sweat with rosin look like under a microscope? Is it gonna look different from?
You're like Spider-Man. You're like it comes out of your wrist or whatever.
Dude, I can't even get into how disgusting sweat is inside my baseball glove. Like, don't ever let me borrow a baseball glove if you're out there.
You got it. Here's another one for you, man. So this weekend, Eduardo Escobar wasn't in the lineup because he may be headed to the Chicago White Sox. So there's some rumors going around. John Heyman was one of the ones who reported on it that the White Sox and the Arizona Diamondbacks are discussing a trade for Eduardo Escobar. So you might be seeing my man EE in Chicago.
I wouldn't mind. He's a good player, solid.
Yeah, man. He was the a piece that I traded for about a year ago, maybe, and he carried my team maybe 2 years ago. Someone by the name of Luis Angel Gomez traded him to me. Heck of a deal.
What good call back there. Speaking of more MLB rumors, this has to do with MLB, but I think this is more of like a general rumor of the world, man. I think we're living in a simulation. You might have woke up at some point in 2020 and looked outside and said to yourself, like, what the hell is going on, man? What's going on with this world? This isn't real life. This isn't normal. You know what else isn't normal, Manny? Vladimir Guerrero Sr. and his son, Vlad Guerrero Jr., both reached 50 career home runs in 258 professional games. Manny, what's 2 plus 5 plus 8?
2 plus 5 plus 8. You got 7 plus 8. 8 and 7. 15.
And what does that mean?
Is that the number?
That's what they don't want us to find out, Manny. Right? They don't want us to make the connections, man. 50 career home runs, 258. Their father and son. It's just a little.
What is the 15?
It was pointless, man. Move past it. We're move past the joke. It's not supposed to make sense because we're living in a simulation. They don't want us to crack the code, is what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
How the hell do both of these guys do this? Like, also look out for other stats that both father and son are gonna achieve. Well, Vlad Guerrero in this case, Jr. Like, I'm not buying it, man. We're living in a simulation.
Wow, you're really standing behind this one. But I have one more for you, man. And we're into Ohtani. Don't worry, there's no rumors. There's no MLB rumors about Ohtani. But there's one other person that you love with your whole heart, and he goes by the name of Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, aka A-Rod.
My first love.
A-Rod has rented a house, a mansion in the Hamptons for the summer. Why is this important, you ask, Luis? Is that what you're asking me right now? Why it's important? Well, yes. It's down the block from J-Lo's summer home. Well, they must be getting back together, right, Luis? Huh? We're going to have a J-Rod situation again? No, we're not. A-Rod has been spotted in Ben Affleck's ex, Lindsay Shookus, at her birthday party. So there's some drama going on here, guys. And
so wait a second, Manny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're telling me that J-Lo and A-Rod break up. J-Lo goes and cozies up with Ben Affleck. Right. Are you hearing me, YouTube caption transcriber? J-Lo, Jennifer Lopes, and Ben Affleck hook up.
Benifer.
And now, I'm not repeating those words. No. And then you're telling me A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, has now hooked up with Ben Affleck's ex, Lindsay Shookus?
Lindsay Shookus, who, by the way, I believe was a writer or a producer or something at Saturday Night Live.
Okay, so A-Rod and J-Lo are in the business of headlines, man. Clearly, they're still together. This is still a thing.
If you want MLB rumors or entertainment rumors or any kind of rumors, A-Rod and J-Lo will be at the top of the list, probably.
This is crazy, man. I love A-Rod, but I don't like that he likes being the topic of conversation, and I don't like that he doesn't mind being in the heart of drama.
Me neither,
that's the complete opposite of my personality. And I love A-Rod, but it's just a little too it's too much of a coincidence that all these moving parts are happening. I still think they're legally engaged somehow, maybe through a contract. Maybe they're super rich and they had a lawyer write up a contract. Like, look, no matter what happens on social media, we're still together. We're still sharing the same net worth. And I think they're just trying to grab headlines. They're taking a page out of the Kardashian playbook. They're just trying to grab headlines.
So this is kind of like an A-Rod anon or something, like that failed.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got for me, man? Any other rumors?
Listen, I don't know. This is sort of a rumor, but I'm here for it. Carl Nassib, defensive end for the Los Angeles Raiders, came out as gay, I think a week ago or so, and since then he's received a lot of support, including support from O.J. Simpson. Ooh. I don't know if you want support from a guy like O.J. Simpson, but he's not gonna hold back. He went on Twitter, he put out a video, he said he supports the courage and everything. He says he's played with plenty of gay athletes in the past. Dike, I don't know, bro. I wasn't there, right? He played for the Bills. Speaking of the Bills, Bruce Smith, Buffalo Bill legend. I didn't watch them in the 90s. I was a child. Had also said that the Bills had not tons. I'm not going to say tons. He also said the 1990s Bills had gay players. Dike.
I believe it, man. I mean,
I believe it too, because what does being gay have to do with your ability to play sports? Nothing.
I just think we're finally at a point now where, and Carl Nassib, shout out to him, where let's start making it so that these guys don't have to come out. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Just because you're gay doesn't mean you want to jump my bones. Like, I'm not that attractive. You know what I mean? Like, some guys need to get over themselves, man. Like, a lot of guys are like, oh, you're gay, get away from me. Like, you know, why? Like, what is every girl jumping on you? Like, relax. Yeah. It's just, he's just attracted to men. That's it.
I think what needs to happen, and I'm not saying there's any connection to this, but the next big thing for this to just become more acceptable is, and it sucks, but it's going to take like a superstar type of player to say that he's been gay this whole time. Like maybe Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon was gay this whole time. I'm not saying he is.
Yeah.
Let's just say he was.
Michael Jordan just comes out.
Nobody would be able to say anything because like that's a player that's loved across all boards. But yeah. Manny, I got one more thing to bring up.
Hit me.
And I just got to rip this player real quick. Ben Simmons of the 76ers. I almost forgot where they played. Plays for Philly. So I'm sure you saw the stat during the, Phillies versus Hawks series. I don't think he attempted a shot in the fourth quarter of like the last 4 games in the series. And then afterwards, I'll admit I don't watch a lot of basketball, and I didn't watch a lot of basketball this year, so I haven't watched all of Ben Simmons' career, but there was a time where they were comparing him to being like the next LeBron, and at first glance, I believed it because he's so much bigger and faster than the guys on the court, and he plays out of the point guard position. So you could see the gift, like he's a freak, right?
Yeah.
But then his excuse for not knowing how to shoot is that he is who he is, and I don't remember, but it was just so odd to hear for a guy that's been in the league for 5 years at this point to not develop a jump shot. And the thing is, I know he streams. I know he plays video games. Like, Kobe Bryant must be rolling over in his grave right now, man, you know? Like, how do you not develop a jump shot and you're that talented and just gifted as an athlete?
Yeah.
And you can't develop like at least 1 to 3 weapons that you can go to in case the lane isn't open. Even if like for you to not have attempted a shot in the fourth quarter, like the last 3 to 4 games, I'm really disappointed in Ben Simmons. I don't know what kind of package a team can, or what kind of, trade the Phillies could put together, but I can't imagine that you're going to get a lot for a guy whose roof is like, it's high. It's a high ceiling for Ben Simmons, but.
And he's talented. He's clearly very talented. And I don't know, man.
And I'm sorry if the connection wasn't made. I put this in the rumor section because I think you almost have to question whether or not Ben Simmons got involved with like the underground mafia and threw the series away? Because, like, how else could you explain this? Like, how else could you explain that he didn't attempt a shot in the fourth quarter for three, could have been 4 games, but for sure the last 3?
Damn, that's... Oof.
Like, I have to question that...
Everything is... Yeah, right.
I'd have to question that he's involved somehow in throwing the series away. Like, so
we're going all full on uncut gems here, huh?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, you have to question it. He's supposedly a top tier player or has top tier talent, and completely bombed in the playoffs. And like you said, no attempts in the fourth quarter at all. It doesn't make any sense. So
I think he actually had a play where he had the wide open lane for a layup and passed it.
I saw that. He passed up a dunk, essentially.
It's stuff like that makes me question, like, okay, he made a deal with someone who put in a hefty bet, like the Sixers are going to lose this series, and people were like, well, you're crazy, man. It's the Sixers versus the Hawks. Like, the Hawks were like the 8th seed or something, you know?
Yeah. Man.
Anyways.
All right. Well, those were your MLB rumors for today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I said it that way, but check us out next week. Make sure you subscribe, rate, review, follow the podcast as well. Search for Bodega Baseball. We'll be the first ones to pop up. You can follow us on Twitter at Bodega Baseball. Follow that handsome young fellow over there at Hova Mojo. Follow me at Manigo3. We are a member of the Our Esquina Network. Follow Our Esquina at Our Esquina on Twitter as well. And on Instagram and Facebook, all those fun places. That's it, guys. Get out the store. Peace.
Peace.